for the higher institutions of learning in terms of adaptation of what we currently have as curriculums this side. We also have an A-level that is yet to find this curriculum or be enrolled. Now, on top of that, you have teachers that are yet to be fully equipped to be updated with this curriculum beyond just the rhetoric of Tuchu Caesar curriculum. And for me, I think we have a challenge there.
Perhaps to explain to us some of these discrepancies or some of these contentious issues is the head of public relations at the Uganda National Examinations Board, Madam Jennifer Kalule. Miss Jennifer, good to have you and a very good morning.
Good morning, Simon. Good morning, everyone.
Well, the rate at which UCE candidates passed is quite mind-boggling. Could you break it down for us? How did you arrive at 99.7% pass rate? And what does it mean?
Thank you so much. First and foremost, yes, I want to applaud everyone who has been part of this process, and that involves the National Curriculum Development Center, who were part of the development of the curriculum, then UNEB, part of the assessment, and the Ministry of Education for the guidance and the policy, and of course, the teachers and the parents and the learners themselves. Now, I want us to get back to the spirit behind the new curriculum. The spirit behind the new curriculum is that everybody has an ability to do something. When you have been in school for the last 4 years, it is not it is not right to say that somebody, because maybe they have failed mathematics, they are a failure. I may have failed mathematics, but I have competencies. I have an ability to express myself in Luganda, and I come to NBS and I do a program in Luganda. So the idea behind the new curriculum is to make sure that we assess learners as per their abilities, but also to enable them demonstrate that they are able to show the knowledge and skills acquired to solve real-life situations. So when we say there's a high level of passing, they've all passed in various levels. We have the category of A, category of B, C, and D. And according to the guidelines for the grading, as long as somebody has got at least one of any of the above, then you qualify to be in result 1. You qualify to have a certificate which will enable you to go on to another level, or another level according to the abilities.
Passing
so you find that we have a high number, or the ones they're talking about are all under result 1. That means that they were able to acquire at least 1A, 1B, 1C, or even 1D.
Hasn't passing become
it is only somebody who has gotten only, maybe, let's say...
Hasn't passing become...
I beg your pardon?
Hasn't passing become such a casual affair that you're just running through the system and it's just automatic that everyone will pass?
It is not a casual affair, because when you go on to the next level, now at the next level, they are able to sieve out and say, what are you able to do? Let me give you an example. If somebody wants to go to the next level and they want to do, let's say, a combination in economics and in economics, maybe economics, literature, and maybe history, they'll look at your performance. What did you get at that level? But most importantly, we want to dialogue with the teachers, the people you've been dealing with, the people you've been working with all these years. What do they think your competencies are? And I think it was the permanent secretary in the press briefing when she said that we want to ask the teachers to engage with the learners to support them identify where their best potential is. Because we are having many learners who have passed sciences, however, they do not have the ability to continue on to go through the science subjects. So maybe they do not have to take a science combination, they would rather do an arts combination. So it's going to be incumbent upon the teachers to guide the learners. And that is why we have the school-based assessment. Because we realize that it's not fair for us, for UNEP to come in at the end and just dub somebody as a failure when you're only giving them a 2.5-hour paper or 2-hour paper. That is why we have the school-based assessment, which contributes 20%. the overall to the overall mark of the learner.
We also want to ascertain, previously, to just get a combination, you had to have passed a certain number of subjects to at least get a combined, for example, combination at A level. Now, if the situation has evolved to at least one A here and one B over there, in cases where perhaps I have a B in a science subject, I have an A in art subject, how do we end up with a combination at O level with this latest assessment?
Thank you so much. The principle of getting the combination still remains the same, and that is why we are saying they need to have guidance. That if you are more competent in the arts in the arts set, then you go ahead and make a combination in arts. But even then, you don't just do any other combination. Maybe you got an E or a D in a subject, and you have an A and B in another set of subjects. Then the principle remains the same. That is why we have still, even much as we have result 1, we still have A, B, C, D. So even in the passing, they are level. There's still a grade of passing. You are still not on omnibus.
Of course, also the question on in terms of the awareness about this latest assessment for parents that are struggling to understand this. What kind of modalities have you put in place to have this particular curriculum across the board understood not just by the learners, the teachers themselves before they actually teach, but also for the parents? Because let's face it, education is stakeholder management at most of the levels. How are you proceeding?
Yes, we have plans to sensitize the public and make sure we have more and more awareness programs like this. And that is why we are very grateful for this opportunity to be able to share with the public out there what exactly does an A mean, what does a B mean, a C and D mean. But also we want to call upon the teachers to use the opportunity wherever they have, because they interface with the parents more and with the learners, and explain to the teachers, rather explain to the parents what this grading is all about, because the teachers are using it already in schools during the usual grading, the end of term examinations. On the reports of the learners, they are using this same type of grading. So that should be able to help the teachers, or rather the parents, to be able to come to terms with the grading system. And I've seen many schools actually call for parents meetings, especially for the candidates or the pre-candidate classes, and they take them through the new curriculum, the assessment modalities. And I want to call upon the parents, when you're called upon at your school, it is very important for you to make sure you go and get involved in these meetings. Get yourself aware, get yourself sensitized. When you get involved in those kind of meetings, you are able to also guide your learner much better. You are able to interface with your learner from a point of understanding, from a point of knowledge. So I want to encourage the parents also to be more involved in the teaching and learning of their children. So when you're called upon at school to be part of the meetings, please go and be part of the meetings, and you'll be able to understand these things much better.
Madam Jennifer, back then, I belonged to that age where an A was a very prized mark. So what
even
is,
now it is.
What is A, what is B, what is C in the competence-based curriculum?
Thank you so much. A is still that very high level. Now, if somebody gets an A, it means that they have, those are exceptional. They're exceptional in that subject. And it means they have received an extraordinary level of competence or ability to be able to apply the knowledge and skills acquired in real life situations. Like I said, it all gets back to the spirit of the new curriculum. The spirit of the new curriculum is not just about the content, but also a child or a candidate or a learner having the ability to prove and show that I can be able to apply the knowledge and skills acquired in real life situations. That's why you find that most of our questions are scenario questions. So if somebody has the content, they have crammed, okay, if you want to cram, now we want to show how can you be able to apply this knowledge in a real life situation to solve real life problems. So an A shows that somebody is extraordinary. He or she has proven that they have an extraordinary ability to apply the knowledge and skills acquired in real life situations. That is an A. Now, a B is outstanding. B is outstanding performance. Again, the same principle. You are showing outstanding performance in as far as you are able to demo. You are demonstrating ability to be able to narrate in order to be able to apply the knowledge and skills acquired in class in real life situation. So a B is an outstanding candidate. Then C is adequate, just ordinary. You are able to apply knowledge and skills acquired in real life situations. That's an adequate candidate. Any employer can actually take them on, because it means that they are able to learn, they are able to acquire more knowledge, they are able to apply what they've known, what they've learned in real life situations and solve a problem. And then a D is basic. Basic is the minimum. It's like the pass mark. You are just at the edge. It's the pass mark. But you're so able to learn more. Most of our candidates, so the good thing about the new curriculum is that the learners are learning candidates. They've been doing research on their own. And that's why you hear that the teachers are more of facilitators than teachers. Because when you are in class, the learners, they got the topics, they know the themes, and they have to go and do the research themselves. And when the teachers come, it is facilitation in class. So all the learners who have gone through the new curriculum are able to acquire knowledge on their own. They are able to carry out research. That's one of the positives of the new curriculum. So you can dump them anywhere, even if they have just a D. They are able to solve problems in real life situations. They are able to use the knowledge acquired. They have just enough ability to use the knowledge acquired to solve real life situations. Now, an E is that's what is below the bare minimum. And those are learners we are encouraging to repeat so as they can be able to improve their competencies. And that is the less than 1% that we have. Just very few of them got E's throughout. And that's what we mean. So even in the passing, there are also various grades of passing. How many A's did you get? How many B's did somebody get? How many C's did somebody get? And something like that. And that is also going to guide the combinations that you are going to take.
Well, this is the second cohort of exams under the competence-based curriculum. You would say they're still at preliminary stage. And amidst all the challenges, isn't it ironical that students who are faced with challenges with internet, poor resources, teachers who do not understand the curriculum, but they all pass? What a miracle.
Thank you so much. It is not a miracle, by the way. These students put in a lot. The teachers put in a lot. I want to challenge somebody out there. I want to ask you to interface with any learner who is currently in Senior 3, Senior 4, even Senior 2. Interface with them. Talk with them. Ask them anything that is close to what in their own environment, in their own situations. You will be amazed. That is the same thing that made us go out there to do a research. We did a mini study to establish the perception of the teachers, perception of the learners, perceptions of the heads of centers, head teachers of the new curriculum, and also compare the learners of the new curriculum with the learners of the old curriculum. And we got amazing findings. The findings indicate that these learners, like I said, they are able to be on their own. They are able to carry out research. They are very aggressive. They are very inquisitive. Put them anywhere in the forest and they will survive. Because they've learned that somehow you don't just have to use the knowledge acquired, but you can use it to solve a situation, solve a problem. So we got a situation where a learner, they were talking about having so much rubbish at school. And they were wondering, how can we be able to solve this problem? And they went ahead and came up with the concept of developing their own dustbins. Not the ordinary ones, but there's a way they are able to use those dustbins. So they are very innovative, they are very creative. And again, it gets back to the spirit of the new curriculum. They are innovative, they are very creative, they are very outgoing. So the learners we think that are not actually doing well, they are actually doing perfectly well. And the teachers have also come on board. UNEB went out to train at least 15 teachers per school. every school, we went out and trained them in continuous assessment, but also the general aspects of the new curriculum. NCDC did the same thing, and I know ministries also doing the same thing. So we are training these people, and it's kind of work in progress. But also it's also about personal initiative, and most of the schools are putting an initiative to make sure their teachers are abreast with the new curriculum. And the resources are also there. So the teachers can access the resources, so can the learners. So together we are working cooperatively to make sure that we put this curriculum forward. So the learners, I can assure you, they are very competent.
Ms. Jennifer, just to pick up on that, in terms of the new competency-based curriculum, let's speak about the cost of this curriculum. And I'm speaking about cost because if you look at continuous assessment for some of these learners, you're looking at things called projects. Parents have had to pay heavily for these projects, so the items are being used for these projects. Children are being sent home, 20,000 here, 30,000 tomorrow, and that continues throughout the term and the next term. Secondly, these costs are not predetermined, or they for some reason, sometimes randomly do show up. How is government harmonizing on this front, especially because when you look at continuous assessment, that 20% is very critical for any learner to eventually at least get a pass mark. How are you harmonizing on the issue of cost for learners across the country that will not be able to get a 20,000 for this project item, for that raw material? How are you harmonizing on that front?
Thank you so much, Mildred. That's one of the concerns that we are having generally as stakeholders. All of us are stakeholders. The parents, the teachers, the ministry, and the learners are all stakeholders. And it's an issue which has come up. Even in our study, it came up. There is a concern about the cost of the projects that we are doing and the tours which are all over the world. And there's a big concern. And what we are seeing, what we are trying to encourage our people, our teachers, and everybody to make sure we use the available resources. And these resources are available in our communities, in the school environment, in the home environment. So we want the teachers also to try and encourage the learners. Even the learners must know that, I do not have to make an expensive project. So as parents, that's why we also need to be involved in the learning of our children. What projects are they doing? What are the resources? And that as part of the project planning, they are supposed to plan for the project and do a cost benefit analysis. How am I going to get these materials? Where am I going to get them from? What is readily available for me? What can I pick from home? What can I pick from the community around? If let me give you an example. My daughter is she first worked on briquettes. And she had to get, I think, cassava flour. I think like a half a kilo of cassava flour. And then she mixes it up. Then she asks, "Mommy, please get me some used newspapers." She gets used newspapers. And then she puts it in water and does all the other processes and procedures. And that is basically all that she did. And she got briquettes. The first time she did powder of nakati. So we had to buy some nakati. And then eventually she started planting the nakati at home herself. So we have to innovatively help these learners, but they too have to be innovative and creative. Let them know the money is not there. Let them know they have to creatively think about projects which are going to utilize resources within their own environment, within their own community. And as schools, we also need to go out of our way as leaders in schools and at home and in the communities. Let's guide these learners. They don't have to do expensive projects. My other son did a solar cooker. And all he asked for was a foil paper and then a box or something. He had to collect materials from within home, around the home. Then another can ask you maybe for bottle tops of mineral water bottles or something like that to put in their liquid manure, whatever they are doing. My point is we need to be available ourselves. We need to guide them and encourage them, but also the learners have to make sure that they also come up with projects which are cost effective within their own means. So we don't have to show them that the money is actually there, because it is not there and we don't want to make it expensive. So this is a major concern, and we want to ask the teachers also help us guide the learners to come up with projects which are cost effective within their own means. Let them use in as much as it is possible the resources which are available within their own environment at school and also in the community and at home. They can see what to use and they can come up with very good projects.
Do you agree that this competence-based curriculum was arbitrarily rolled out and you're facing huge challenges in setting the kind of exams that really match the expectations? And perhaps it explains why maybe this time everyone is questioning the passing.
I do not want to agree with you because there was a background to the starting of this curriculum. Lots of studies were done, and by the time the policymakers came up with this approach, it was actually found to be the best for this country. You see, I think at one time as we were doing before rolling out, the thinking then was, if we begin at UCE level, first of all, if you begin at primary level and we have errors made, we would have spoiled a whole generation, because once the foundations are spoiled, what can somebody do? What can the writers do? So we didn't want to begin at the foundation level just in case it goes wrong. Now at UCE level, at lower secondary level, you are still able to correct. In case there are mistakes made, you are still able to correct it later at higher secondary level. Fortunately, by the grace of God, we realized that we did not have any errors. So right now, the talk that I hear, what the ministry is talking about, the policymakers are talking about, is that the competence-based curriculum is actually being rolled out, even to the primary level. Already at USCE, it's been rolled out. Actually, these candidates who are the results which we are about to release, that is the last cohort of candidates of the old curriculum. The current senior sixes and upcoming senior fives are all going to be assessed under the new curriculum. So by the grace of God, what we did was right, and it's been proven by the candidates, by the learners, and I think this is the way to go. What we need to do right now is to see how can we make it better. How can we ensure that we work together as stakeholders to make sure this curriculum actually works for everybody.
So Jennifer,
one of the respondents in our study was saying, this is a... Yes, please.
Jennifer, which exams did you set for candidates?
What do you mean? For which?
The CBC, curriculum-based curriculum, is premised on the assumption that our children will be critical thinkers, will have communication skills, will have practical skills. Which particular exams did you set for them?
Analytical skills.
Do you want to tell me that...
we have an assessment framework based on...
Go ahead, please go ahead.
Hello. Yes, please. Like I said, that after, on the onset, when the curriculum was rolled out, we worked with NCDC to come up with an assessment framework. And this assessment framework is competence-based. So what we're actually doing is competence-based assessment. And we are analyzing all those skills. We're actually assessing all those skills you're talking about. The analytical skills, problem solving, critical thinking, are they able, and that's why you're talking about ability to demonstrate extraordinary competencies to apply the knowledge acquired in real life situations. Those are the competencies we are looking out for. That's why the questioning approach has changed a lot. That is why we have the scenario question. So you are given a scenario and you have to think about the content that you have, the knowledge that you have, and then show how you are going to use that knowledge to solve a problem in a real life situation. So the exams we set are competence based.
So children are now
based
brighter.
on an assessment framework that was developed by both. I beg your pardon?
Have our children become brighter now? That they are all passing?
By the way, like I said, the children they have high competencies because they all have certain levels of competencies. They don't have to be at the same level of competency, but they have high levels of competencies. They are able to express themselves, majority of them, and this is because it's deliberate. It's not happening just like that. That is why we have the continuous assessment in schools. The school-based assessment is a deliberate effort to make sure that the learners, by the time they end the 4 years, they are now critical thinkers, they are analytical thinkers, they're able to carry out research, they're able to solve real-life situations based on the knowledge acquired. That is why we have continuous assessment starting from S1, Senior 1. So at that level, it's basically a general introduction, trying to show them, to guide them how to work together as a team. They're doing teamwork, they're trying to do presentations, they're trying to do group work, they're trying to do research, and they go on improving and supporting each other. They have peer support for each other. They are trying to, if somebody knows some bit of research, another knows how to write a report, another knows how to make a presentation, another knows how to write a good story or something to that effect, express themselves. So they work in groups initially, and they are able to support each other as a team because they are assessed as a team. So it's critical for you to make sure your team member is able to also cope up and learn and pick the basic skills. So after that, then they are able to later on in Senior 3. That's when they do the individual projects. So by the time they finish Senior 1, Senior 2, they're trying to, the teachers are assessing them, the learners are assessing themselves, and they're able to pick a few, to keep on improving on their skills. That's why it is continuous assessment and it is deliberate. To make sure that Jennifer, who came in when she cannot talk to anyone, she initially talks to 2 people. She can talk to her group members. Eventually, she can talk to the classroom, and eventually, she can be able to express herself on an assembly and things like that. So it's a continuous assessment, and it is deliberate.
Well,
so to answer your question, you say, are they brighter? Maybe yes, maybe no. But because we are deliberately trying to enable them identify their potential and also use their potential to solve real-life problems. So this curriculum is actually about igniting potential, trying to make sure that somebody identifies their potential, their abilities, and then apply that same potential in a real-life situation. That's the unique bit about this curriculum.
Well, thank you so much.
Before it was all about content, you would cram.
Thank you so much, Jennifer Kalule Musamba, who is the Principal Public Relations Officer at UNEB. We'll definitely continue with this conversation right after this break.
For years, they have studied, they have trained, they have persevered. Now, the moment of honor has come. Finns Medical University is proud to announce its 5th graduation ceremony. We cordially invite our graduating class of 2025, their esteemed parents and guardians, and the general public to join us in this celebration of academic excellence and professional dedication. The chief guest will be the Right Honourable Anita Among, the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda. The university will also celebrate its charter. The ceremony will be held on Friday, the 27th February 2026, at the Finns Medical University campus in Fort Portal. Proceedings commence at 9 a.m. Finns Medical University, a chartered medical university in East Africa.
As the new moon is sighted, a blessed season begins. Ramadan is more than fasting, a journey of the heart, guided by faith, strengthened by community. From Suhoor to Iftar, Salam TV walks with you, uniting Ummah through inspiring teachings and family-centered programming. Across Uganda, Ramadan calls us to compassion, forgiveness, and drawing closer to Allah. Stay connected to what truly matters with Salam TV this Ramadan. To partner with us, call 0761 001 890. Ramadan Kareem, Uganda.
Somchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. And artists, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yugatunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yugatunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
Welcome back as we continue unpacking the recently released UCE results, indicating a close to 100% pass rate for all candidates who sat for last year's. We're looking at 432,163 candidates who sat, and out of them, 628 passed with flying colors. What does this mean? Could this mark a shift in learning? Are our kids actually learning? Or we are entering a phase called Bonna Baite? Well, joining me this morning is an education consultant, and we'll also be engaging Madame Jennifer Kalule, the Principal Communications Officer at the Uganda National Examinations Board. For now, in the studios, I have Mr. Ambrose Chibuka. Good to have you, and a very good morning.
Thank you for having me, Simon.
Are you as baffled as any parent out there that their kids are getting AAs?
Simon, I'm not baffled. I'm actually super excited that this is happening. And I want to congratulate Madame Jennifer. She has explained it so very well and convincingly, because that's what it is. Simon, I want to begin from this observation that, in my view, since 1962, the most fundamental change that has happened in this country is the ongoing educational reforms right now.
The competence-based?
Yes. That is the most fundamental change that this country has seen since 1962. It is going to revolutionize everything else, right? So I think what is happening now is because we have operated with a different paradigm since formal education was introduced in Uganda, and that's what we are used to. So now with this paradigm shift, there is a shock among certain sections of the stakeholders. For example, I think some parents are in a shock. Commentators, analysts, observers are also in a shock. I'm not sure which position the students themselves, those who have gone through the system.
I would find it quite ironical that while teachers out there complaining that they have not been adequately trained on the rollout of the competence-based curriculum. And in some schools, or several schools, there are no facilities. But the children passed regardless.
Yes. So what we were testing in the old paradigm is memory power. Now, memory power or memorization is the shortcut to what you might call education. because that is the easiest thing to do. Even someone whose intelligence has not been educated can mechanically cram things and regurgitate them in an exam. And that's what we have been used to. What we are switching to is real education, okay? Now, were we prepared, adequately prepared for this? Definitely no. Would there be any such a time when we are adequately prepared? Definitely no. So the best thing is to start.
Is the pass rate questionable?
No, it's not questionable, because what is the pass rate telling you? The pass rate is telling you, because if you go into educational science, we have such a thing as multiple intelligences. It's not just one form of intelligence, okay? And two, true education is learning by doing, okay? And that's what they're trying to do. So what they are assessing is not memory power. What they are assessing is what is this person becoming in terms of their capacity to learn, what she has described. We bundle all of those. You see, this competence-based sits on a stool that has four legs. So they are what we call epistemic competencies. Those are the competencies that have to do with learning how to learn, being able to think, to learn, to analyze things. That's where you have critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, and all of that, okay? Then the second pillar, which should actually be the first, is what we call ontological competencies. Ontological competencies, so epistemic, epistemology and ontology are two branches of philosophy, okay? Now, and they are very handy in education. So, you have the epistemic, I've explained that. Ontological competencies are the competencies that have to do with who I am, me as a person. Who am I becoming? What's my identity? And that should be the first one. Then we have what we call, the third one is what we call the professional competencies. Professional competencies meaning your area of specialization, if you want, pertaining to physics, pertaining to biology, pertaining, do you know the subject matter there, and also the doing in there, to be able to not only explain things or know about them, but you can actually carry out this experiment, you can actually graft a tree, you can actually, you see, those are professional competencies.
By the new look of things, every child now is a genius, right?
Because it's not that everybody is a genius. By the way, yes, there's no problem with that. Because innately...
I mean, we are overflooded with
innately we are born as geniuses in certain aspects. It's only that when you have the wrong education system, like some of us have objected. I've studied this system since the year 2000. I've objected to it, and I've been here many times, and my message has been very clear. We have the wrong system. Now we have corrected the system. We are on the right track now. The right track means that there is none of these children that is actually stupid, that is not intelligent. They are intelligent in some ways, in something. And the duty of educators is to provide a learning environment that brings out the best in each of these children. This is what competence-based is doing now.
Initially, there's been a lot of backlash towards the Ugandan National Examinations Board.
Yes.
Coming to examine a child in a space of just 2 hours. We seem to be, despite this system having its good side, UNEB is still playing a central role. How much role should UNEB be playing in this new curriculum?
You see, I've written this in my books before, that, look, what determines the behavior of the teacher and the learner is the assessment method. So UNEB will continue to play a very critical role because they are the ones who set the instruments of assessment. Now, they have been assessing rote learning, memory power. And that was the direction that the whole education system was taking. Now that they have embarked on assessing comprehensive learning, ability to not only know, but to actually analyze and to do things, to put what you have learned into practice in real life. If that's what they are assessing, they have to be at the center of the whole thing. And Simon, believe you me, we may not be able to see the impact of this shift, but give it the next 5, 10 years onwards, you will see from industry itself, the employers will be telling you that this generation of school leavers is very different. They are hands-on.
I'm trying to think of a place where there is no internet access, and you're saying we now have critical thinkers, we have children who can respond to modern day challenges. I think you're being too theoretical.
Simon, I have been in education before. You may not know. I founded a secondary school, a community secondary school in 1997 in my village, Mpata. Straight from Makera, I went to the village. And I had started because I had an exposure to this competence-based earlier in my life. Now, and I am a certified professional in that area. 1998 to 1999, a whole year, I was doing a course in that at the Catholic Social Training Center. It was under arrangement of my employees. Now, I have personally handled kids, young people, using this method before. Not in the formal system, but in other areas, people I have mentored. And I'm telling you, the internet is just an added advantage. Because the internet is just a yesterday thing. You check out this, by the way, what we are struggling with, if you check in the Catholic tradition, we have what we call the Ignatian pedagogy. The Jesuits are the masters in this, what we are grappling with right now. That's what they use. And it has been there for many, many decades. That's what they are using, okay? So it's not a new thing necessarily. It's new to us in Uganda. The methods, yes, may be complicated in the beginning. The teachers may be puzzled. And even the learners themselves at some point may be puzzled. UNEB itself will not convince you that they have figured out everything, fully. But I'm telling you, we are going to learn along the way. We are going to shift the paradigm together. And this, as I said, is the most fundamental change that this country has ever seen. Forget about anything else.
Where we are, everyone seems intrigued except UNEB and maybe the Ministry of Education. The teachers themselves who are complaining, who are lamenting that they are poorly facilitated to roll out. They actually don't know. You meet some teachers and they tell you, we've not been guided.
Yeah. And I want to admit that I have been analyzing. As you know, in November, the Minister of Education issued a directive to institutions of higher education, universities and others, that come next year, August, the intake of the first years, all curricula have to be converted to competence-based. And no university will be allowed to admit students if their curricula have not been shifted to competence-based. Okay. And I have analyzed the documentation from the National Council, the minimum guidance, and I can see that there are glaring fundamental gaps in there. And that is okay, because we are just on, so there is a lot that needs to be improved. So when the teachers there are saying they have not been guided, that's understandable. It is true. We are going to improve this thing along the way as we go along.
Okay.
It's a sharp learning curve.
It's a bit of a surprise or a miracle that at the initial stages, this is the second cohort of the competence-based, and it has produced close to 100% pass rate. Just the second cohort, at the preliminary stage, with its teething problems, we have 100% pass rate.
Yes.
That's questionable, isn't it?
No, it's not questionable, Simon. Simon, the thing is this, and...
Oh, I'm stuck in the old.
I was going to explain this to you, and I will be polite. There is such a thing as paradigm paralysis. So together, collectively as a society, we are in that state of paradigm paralysis because we have been used to the old paradigm. And now this abrupt change, it is shocking us. But I'm telling you, the people in the back end, they have done their homework. I know for a fact they have been benchmarking globally. So they know what they are doing. What they are putting before us is the right thing. And maybe if you want me to raise this also, as an emphasis, what they are proposing is what UNESCO put before us in 1996. There is a UNESCO report called the Delors Report. This is what they recommended. That report is about learning to know, learning to be, learning to do, and learning to live together. 4 things. Those are the 4 pillars of this competence-based. Okay. Now, we had neglected it. It is only of late when youth unemployment has hit nations, when graduate unemployment has hit nations, and when actually we have a crisis of youth around the world. That's when we are now waking up.
If I can hold you there, I would like to bring back Jennifer. Madam Jennifer, how much headache do you have to put up with in the selection process going forward, now that literally the pass rate has been exceedingly high?
Thank you, Simon. First and foremost, the selection process is led by the Ministry of Education. UNEB is actually not part of the process. Ours is provide the results, and then they'll go ahead and do the selection together with the schools. But I know there's a criteria, and again, much as you're calling it that everybody has passed, there are still levels of passing, like I said. The minimum level for result 1 is getting a minimum of at least a D in one of the subjects. So somebody who has the bare minimum of at least a D in one of the subjects cannot be compared to somebody who has at least maybe 5 A's and 3 B's and 1 D. So again, I think the same principle stands. And I don't know about the particular guidelines, but I know there are guidelines on how the grading, on how the selection is done. But like what the PSF guided is that, for instance, like for sciences, the learners need to be guided on which combination to take. Again, the involvement of the adults, the involvement of the professional, involvement of the teachers is very critical here. And for the teachers who have been following the learner, that is why we have the continuous assessment. You have to establish, where did somebody do their project? What did they get in their project? Did they get a B or an A or a D? And then what are their interests? Because the new curriculum is actually trying to assess somebody's abilities, somebody's attitude. Attitude is very critical in the new curriculum. And then the content, which is which is I think what is called here cognitive. We are assessing the cognitive, the memory, the content. How much can you recall? How much are you able to realize? How much knowledge have you acquired? How much skills have you acquired? And then the affective. What is your attitude towards work? Surprise! One of the things we found out during the study is that many learners have taken on to agriculture. Surprising, they have a very positive attitude towards agriculture. Why? Because they realize that they're able to earn even while they're at school. In the school where I went somewhere in eastern Uganda, some of the schools which I went to, many of them were taking agriculture as an option, as an elective. And we asked them why. In the evening, you find they have their sukuma wiki, they have their onion, they have their tomatoes, and they are going to sell in the markets. They are going back home to sell in the neighborhood and all, and they say, I have many orders in this area. And we're also able to buy. So now their attitude towards agriculture has changed. The attitude towards some of the practical subjects like nutrition and food nutrition technology has changed. The attitude towards practical subjects like physics, chemistry has changed because they're able to use it hands-on. So the new curriculum is assessing just the cognitive. We are assessing the affective, somebody's attitude. What do they think about this? What is their attitude towards this subject or this area? And then the psychomotor, which is how are you able to use your hands or your body to deliver, to work out something. And we've established that people who are introduced to scaling at an early stage find it easier later on to do projects. They're able to, to play around with so many things. They'll try out so many projects because their hands are used to being hands-on. And like somebody was saying in studio earlier, it's about the learners being hands-on, not just having the content and then eventually you come to, you're given a job and you're not able to apply the knowledge and skills acquired, which is what we're assessing at this level. So by the time they actually get to the field, employers will be excited to take on these learners because they will already be hands-on. If I'm giving you a communicator, I'm giving you a broadcaster, I'm giving you somebody who is hands-on.
Jennifer.
Not just somebody who has the content and they can't apply the content.
Jennifer, do you want to suggest that the 1,191 candidates who were unable to get certificates could not grow Sukuma Wiki?
Simon, that is just an example of one of the areas I identified. And like I said, assessment under the new curriculum is wholesome. We are assessing somebody wholesomely. Not all of them are doing agriculture. Not all of them are doing food and nutrition. Not all of them others are doing literature. Others are doing ICT. Others are doing, there's a set of elective subjects. Others are doing languages. That's what their competencies are. So my point is, we don't want to assess somebody just on just one aspect of cognitive, one aspect of memory, of content. We want to assess them wholesomely. How are they able to use this knowledge to solve a real life situation? If there is a fire in the neighborhood and you have a learner who has done physics, who has done physics, how are they going to know? And can they say, you know what, I think we can do X, Y, Z. Another one can say, let us be able to let us call the police. Another one will say, let's call NBS so that we alert everybody. They need to be proactive. That's what we are looking out for. So the ones who are in this category of the E, those who got result 3, who are not able to get a certificate, it shows they did not prove that they are able to apply the knowledge and skills acquired in solve real life situations. Like in any other situation, as a communicator, you know what the people call the laggards. The people who are still stuck in the old curriculum. Maybe they just crammed the content and were not able to interpret it and show that they are able to use this content to solve a real life situation. That could have been the problem. That is why we are recommending that let them give it another try. Let them repeat so they can be able to put the skills together. Because out there, we want somebody who is competent, somebody who is able to demonstrate the 21st century skills. Not just somebody who's going to show that they have crammed and they have the content. Thank you so much for the content. How are you able to use this content?
Jennifer,
and that's the critical thing about the curriculum.
The Secretary of UNEB, at the release of exams, spoke about the inadequacies in schools, that several schools do not have the facilities to roll out the competence-based curriculum. He also talked about the inadequate training of teachers. I think these are all big bottlenecks that this outcome actually reverses, or rather this outcome contradicts the bottlenecks.
I don't think it does contradict. Yeah, thank you so much. Indeed, that Edie talked about that, and it did come out in our study. But at the same time, despite everything, that shows that our community, our teachers and our learners are actually problem solvers. There was a challenge, but they were able to go around it. The internet you're talking about, fine, most schools do not have access to internet. But at least someone somewhere, there is a teacher who has a smartphone. And when we went out there, they were trying to see how to use this teacher's phone to load data and be able to do some research. And teachers are providing their own phones to help the learners access internet and be able to get some research, be able to carry out some research. So they've been able to improvise. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's what we've seen in the schools. Where they do not have access to internet, free access to internet, the schools have been improvising. Because I don't think there's any part of this country which doesn't have access to internet. Most parts of the country have access to internet, but even where it is not, The schools, together with the learners, have been able to improvise, and the parents have been able to support the learners, which is what we're actually hearing very much. And we are saying we need to do much better. And the ministry has actually taken it up. They too have recognized, and they are trying to do their best. And I think the minister has actually guided. We need to make sure that we have these facilities in schools. But again, it all cannot happen in one go. It is a work in progress. The good thing about it is that there's political will, and the attitude by both the teachers and the learners is very positive, and all the other stakeholders. We are all willing to make this work, and I believe together we are going to make it work. So we are calling upon the parents to be as helpful as possible. The teachers, make sure it is cost effective. Let's cut out the costs which are not necessary. Let's encourage our learners to do projects which are cost effective, by using the resources which are available within their own communities, within their own school setups, or even at home. That's the whole idea. Not to make it very complicated, not to make it so expensive, not to make people hate the whole thing. Fortunately, this far, everybody has been positive, and I think together we are going to be able to make it work.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. What a pleasure speaking to you this morning.
Thank you so much for.
Certainly, there are still quite a number of questions emerging. Ambrose, you seem to be a proponent of Bonabaite. Are we at that level where everyone in Uganda today, we no longer have the super students, the super learners? You remember the clusters that we had. These are the A's.
Simon, those clusters, if you dissect, the results, those clusters are there. They are there. There are those who got only A's. There are those who got A's and B's. There are those who got A, C. They are there. If you want to go into that detail.
Yeah, but it's very easy to manufacture an A. I'll go grow Sukuma Wiki and excel.
No. By
then
the way,
I'll go and start showing.
Simon, I think you took her example literally. She gave that example. But you see, those ones who failed, the ones who totally failed, those who are not going to be able to get a certificate, are evidence enough that this is not Bonabaite. It's not a guarantee that everyone will pass.
Those are evidence. 0.3%.
Yes, but that's an evidence. What is the criteria that was used for them not to pass? It means there is a criteria that is being followed, and that the majority met that criteria, and there are those who failed to meet that criteria.
How about this notion or this school of thought that this outcome looks superficial to give credence to the ministry that has failed to plug the gaps within the competence-based curriculum?
Okay, look, by the way, as she has acknowledged, and everybody should acknowledge, there are still glaring gaps. I've told you, even at a philosophical level, there are still fundamental gaps in the conceptualization of competence-based. I know that, and I'm writing something about that. They are there. But that notwithstanding, I think what the journalists, you journalists should do, is now go an extra mile. Begin interrogating these students, these very ones, they are now going to senior 5, go to different schools, interrogate them on with the mission of appreciating, do they exhibit a difference in intelligence, in terms of how they look at real life, in terms of how they reason, in terms of how they are able to connect theoretical knowledge to practice. For example, when she tells you Sukuma Wiki, that Sukuma Wiki is not standing alone as Sukuma Wiki. I'm sure there is biology to it, that the student is able to connect soil science and plant science to the real growing of the Sukuma Wiki.
Passing is easy. Passing has been made so demystified, actually.
Call it demystified, but I will tell you, if we had time, I would take you now into the details of how that translates into real education, and not the compartmentalized one that we have been having, which is a big problem.
Okay, you were a product of the old curriculum. You remember, we all struggled to make it to the top or to attain grades. Today, this is worrying.
Now, Simon, and I know that we need to have another conversation about this, and that will take us into now the educational philosophy of the country and how that is connected. And Simon,
that's where I want us to go. Yeah. The educational philosophy
yes,
of the country,
exactly,
based on what we're seeing
because
now.
that is now, if you want me to tell you some of the fundamental gaps, that is one of them. We don't have one. We don't have an educational philosophy, clearly articulated educational philosophy for the country. We don't. And that is part of the problem. And the problem,
and that's where I come from, that we are passing these children for mere optics, but there is no foundation.
It's not mere optics. I don't know how I can explain this, Simon, but I've told you, I want you to engage parents. I want you to engage parents of these children in terms of real life. I want you to engage their teachers. I want you to engage these young people themselves. You will see that there is a real... I've been engaging them. I've been having conversations with them. And the way they perceive reality, the way they analyze things, the way they approach life is different than how we were. It's different.
Yeah, but recently, Wezo released a report, which was quite damning. It was questioning whether our children are learning. And the discovery was that actually children are not learning, that the level of competence, the level of discernment of things is dropping. Now, here is another contradiction. The children who were found not to be learning are passing.
Those who were found not to be learning by Uwezo, yeah, they are passing, right? Is that what you are saying? Now, and for me, it's not a contradiction. That's why in research, they require you to explain the methodology you used, yeah, the assumptions behind that methodology, and how you actually analyzed the data. So now, I will leave matters of generals to generals. So let Uwezo now engage with the...
Because where we are now,
yes,
we should be looking at reading, analysis, analytical skills, critical thinking.
Yeah.
Do you see these things in our children?
And those I have interacted with personally, those who have gone through competence-based, I am excited. That's why I told you at the start, I am excited. Because I see real education taking root in them. Are they perfect?
Who is teaching them? Because the teachers themselves are in the dark.
You see, it's very possible for you to do something and do it well enough and not know that you are doing it well enough until an external assessor comes in and tells you, hey, by the way, you've done a great job. Why are the teachers telling you that? Because they are also like all of us. They are used to the old paradigm where you come to class, you pour matter, and you go thumping your chest, and you see the students have written, and they are able to regurgitate what you gave them, and then you say, yes, I taught. That's the paradigm the teachers are used to. It's the paradigm we are all used to. It's the paradigm we are using to assess what is in front of us now.
I'm afraid we need to end this here, but the discussion continues. We certainly ask, could the outcome of the UCE results point to anything worth a discussion about the future of Uganda's education? Good morning.
Your faith should never be out of reach. No power? Do not stress. Move to your smartphone and stay right in the moment with Afro Mobile. And for the Muslim community, every teaching you need is ready to listen to anytime, anywhere. Wherever you are, whatever the time, Afro Mobile keeps you connected to your faith.
What makes us who we are is that we are freed. But when we are freed for service.
Kampala Mornings More like Kampala marathons. Why sweat in traffic when there is a better way to move? With Union, you're always one tap away from safe, affordable, and convenient rides. Glide through the congestion like it's a VIP lane. Get there faster, safely at the best price in town. Download the Union Let's Go app today. Union, the better way to move.
Eno y'ensibuko y'obulungi bw'ennyaffe Uganda. Ensozi ezigulumidde n'ebibira ebiziyivu kyokka nga bikwesezaabu. Wali olabye bumazike wakati mu kiragala, obuwangwa n'ennono ebyewuunyisa. Ebibuga, ebinyonyi, obutonde obweyagaza, kw'ossa amazina n'embeera z'abantu, byonna mu pulogulaamu Lambula.
We have created what we call the National Digital Observatory. So this digital observatory is able to tell you as a country for decision-making purposes, how many persons with disability do we have in the country? In terms of sex, how many females, how many males? In terms of age, affect the issues of planning in education, healthcare, ABCD, that's it. But also the type. This is span over 15, 16 types of disability. And all of them are profiled on the what? And that should be reflected in the decision what? Making within the National Planning Authority kind of plan. The way we have been treating persons with disability from homes, there is some kind of stereotype that we hold, is that it? You live and visit a home where there is a person with disability and someone hides them in the room. We still have those stereotypes, but we have been able to do awareness that actually that is not the case. So that is one biggest impact that this project is causing.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. And artists, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yugatunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yugatunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
As the new moon is sighted, a blessed season begins. Ramadan is more than fasting, a journey of the heart, guided by faith, strengthened by community. From Suhoor to Iftar, Salam TV walks with you, uniting Ummah through inspiring teachings and family-centered programming. Across Uganda, Ramadan calls us to compassion, forgiveness, and drawing closer to Allah. Stay connected to what truly matters with Salam TV this Ramadan. To partner with us, call 0761 001 890. Ramadan Kareem, Uganda.
Urban Life Productions and Equisio Pasca na Awilo Longomba live muri Mbarara University in Easter Sunday Otaferwa Reiji Winunwaji VJ Oje Sharks VVD Pau Truth 256 Sister Charity Navandi Aribada Nishini Metware Vidi Deraha Geti Nishini Metware Shatu VIP Metware Tano MSA Gold Million Emwe Eya Platinum Million Shatu Okubukinga Tera Notu Mushansh Munani Tano Ikumna Mkaga Chanani Tano Chinana Nina Bahajirwe NBS Sanyuka TV Afro Mobile Mighty Ride.
Ready to be entertained? We've got you. GoTV's got more shows just for you.
That's right.
More movies?
Yes.
Jackpot.
More kids shows?
Of course.
And more football than anywhere else.
No doubt about it.
Yes, we've got more. And we've got you. Pay for your current GoTV package and we'll upgrade you to the next highest package. Get more with GoTV. At home or on the go with GoTV Stream. GoTV. Love it.
A very good morning. My name is Victoria Sabatani. A pleasure to be here with you this morning on the breakfast meeting. Now, land continues to be one of the most talked about investment in Uganda. Probably one of the most conversations that I've had in the past couple of weeks. More young professionals, even to the diaspora investors rather, and many people see land as a secure way to build long-term wealth. But we also know that the land property market can be complicated. Now, this morning, we're looking at how to invest in land smartly and safely. Joining us this morning to have that conversation is Milton Wabulaka, who is the head of marketing at Zion Estates. Milton, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
First of all, start off by telling us what the Zion Estates actually are and what you actually do there.
Well, Zion Estate is the leading real estate company in Uganda. As far as subdivision of land is concerned, we transform communities to make them better for living, and we also secure them with all accessibility, social amenities, so that our clients out there can have a good community to stay. And we have done this for the last over 15 years, and we're still going strong, we're still doing better, and we are relentless about it.
Wow, over 15 years or even almost 2 decades of doing this particular work. And I'm sure you have so much experience, which is why I want to know, why does land still remain such an attractive investment option for many Ugandans today?
Well, land remains key in development. The economists call it a key factor of production. And everything we do it on land, construct houses, build communities. So land is key in terms of security. You can buy land and be assured that your money is safe. You can also look at it in terms of legacy. People want to have a family legacy, name legacy, so they intend to invest in land. But also with the way the economy is moving, things like inflation, you can use land to hedge against inflation. So it is a safe place to keep money for purposes of investment, because the appreciation is high, but also for legacy, to pass on something to your children. You can count on land to really move in that
So
direction.
you're saying it's both for long-term value and perhaps immediate development as well.
Yes.
But then again, we've heard so many stories when it comes to land, about land disputes in different families, in different just situations, evictions and so on. But from your experience, what is the biggest mistake that you think buyers make when they are trying to purchase land?
I think the biggest mistake, and I would call it the mother of all disputes, is documentation. When it comes to land purchase, land ownership, if you don't have documentation right, you're in for disaster. Maybe today and also tomorrow. So I think for our clients out there and the public out there, they should make sure the documentation is really done well, done clearly. They should always focus on transferring land to their names. Very many people tend to disregard the factor of transfer of land. For example, at Zion Estate, we have so many titles and so many people have bought from us, tens and tens of thousands, and some of them take transfer lightly because they trust the company, because they know the company land is safe and all that, but we really encourage them to do the transfers as well of securing the land, marking boundaries, because when you mark your boundaries, you're informing your neighbor that, yes, this is where my boundary lines are, so they keep in check with their boundary lines. But also periodical, sometimes regular visits on the ground is very, very key, just to know what is going on so that you're not in the blue. And I'll also say, you can also do small activities on the land. Plant trees. We are in climate change, and the climate change is real, and we encourage people to plant trees even in our estates, for beauty, but also for...
What do you think is the first thing that someone should verify then in that case? Because you spoke about documentation being such a big deal, visiting the property and making sure that you do your due diligence. What's the first thing someone should verify before they even pay the money?
I think the first thing someone should verify, one is ownership. Because when you pay to the wrong person, like Ugandans put it, you've bought air. So you need to verify ownership. It's very, very important that you're paying money to the right owner.
Is it because people claim to own the land and find out that they don't? Or what is your experience in that case?
People claim to own land, but also sometimes they go ahead to even forge documents. So it is very, very important that you verify ownership. And you can do this by carrying out a search with the Ministry of Lands. Ministry of Land has all those files, and they avail that information to the public. But you can also do it digitally. You can also visit the community, maybe the local authorities.
Ask the right questions, maybe even the neighbors perhaps.
Absolutely, to avoid making payment to the wrong person. Because once you make payments to the wrong person, no land is bought. No.
I think nowadays people are involving lawyers even more. Do you think that's important to always have the advice of, would you advise rather, for people to involve lawyers or even surveyors for that matter? Do you think that people should take that upon themselves?
Actually, people should involve lawyers more, because lawyers have expertise. They have knowledge about land purchases and the land law, especially for those people that are really not conversant with land. Surveyors are very, very key. We can't factor them out, because the surveyors really verify the boundaries. Because one of the disputes that we experience as far as land ownership is concerned in our communities is boundary disputes. And boundaries are a matter of life and death in Uganda. People kill each other, people fight. So surveyors are key in verifying boundaries, because quiet possession is very, very important when it comes to land ownership and development. You cannot develop a place where there are boundary disputes and all that. So it is very, very important that our clients, our people out there, do boundary verification in the process of purchasing land.
Absolutely. Let's come back to Zion Estates and what you guys actually do. You talk about structured estate development. What does that actually mean for a buyer?
For example, when it comes to us, Zion Estate, really, when we talk about structured strategic locations, I'm going to give an example of Naguru. If Zion Estate has an estate in Naguru, we have the best part of Naguru. We just don't have land in Naguru, we have the best part in Naguru. So when you talk about structured and strategic, we have very strategic locations in all on all roads leading to Kampala. And the land is very strategically located, very good, near the main road. And we also move the social amenities there, and also things like electricity and water, these utilities, just to make life worth living there. And over the years, we have seen people do great constructions in our estates, and they have really, really grown. And I mean, that encourages us. That is our victory. We thank God for it.
But what's the difference in buying land from an individual and going to Zion Estates? What would be the benefit in that case?
The benefit of coming to Zion Estate is minimized risks. For us, we do all the hard work for you. And we develop the community for you. We make sure the land is accessible. We make sure the land is well documented. We make sure the land has water, electricity, And it's also well graded for construction. We even give construction advice and so on. Actually, there are also other extra benefits, like discounts. When you come to Zion, we'll give you a discount, massive discounts. For example, for our estate at Chitende, it's just about 20 kilometers from Kampala, and we're really giving massive discounts on it. And they're also going to construct the Nakauka Road, so it's going to be very, very strategic in the future. But also give long-term periods for people to pay this money.
Absolutely.
Over a year.
Okay. So you do give your customers options in that case that work best for them. But some viewers might be feeling that land investment might be far off, rather out of reach, if I should even say. How accessible is it today for an average working Ugandan to access land through Zion Estates?
It's very accessible because an average working Ugandan out there, we are giving you enough time. Actually, we are not giving you a good payment plan. We are giving you a favorable payment plan. We are tailoring payment plans according to our clients' income. Different people, because people have different incomes. So we tailor the payment plans according to their different incomes just to enable them easily acquire this land. So when we sort out the issue of payment and people can pay over time in installments, give them discounts like we are doing at Zion Estate. Really, land ownership, we should not have an excuse. We should just work hard and pay for the land and settle, because good families, good communities is...
But when you're looking at the options that you do provide at Zion Estates, do you think that these opportunities are suitable perhaps for first-time buyers, or is this for seasoned investors who know what they're doing, who know what to look out for? Do you make room for those first-time buyers who have no idea what they're getting into, and how do you guide them?
Actually, we make more room for first-time buyers because, first of all, we have survey questions that we put to them just to understand why they are buying land and what they intend to do. So basing on what they intend to do, we give them the best offer that is available for them in their budget and according to their projection. So we really, and also give them the discounts and also give them even other benefits like construction materials for those that are starting to construct, especially in our newly developed estates. We want to even give them construction materials and so on. So first-time buyers, they benefit more, let me say more than the big long-term investors. But also long-term investors really benefit more because when you look at some of our estates that have developed over time, people that came and bought, let's say, 20 plots, 10 plots, some of them are becoming our competitors because our land in those estates is getting done and they are selling at very high prices because they took advantage of the discounts at the time the estate was opening. So I think both the first-time buyer and the long-term investor have a very good deal with Zion Estate.
Absolutely. Now, if someone is watching this morning considering buying land or even investing with Zion Estates, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them? And also, what would you say they should do, basically, in the first place?
One piece of advice I would give them is start now. Don't wait for tomorrow, because when you say tomorrow, you may never take a decision. So take the decision now and then come to Zion Estate. We have variety. We have variety, all roads leading to the city. We have land there available. You will not go wrong with us at Zion Estate. We have done all the hard work for you. You'll just find a planned environment, not planned alone, but fast-growing environments, because by God's grace, I must say that people that buy land with us keep building so fast. Communities change very fast, but we also make it easy for them with the utilities we try to drive at the estates and all that. And I can't thank our clients enough. Our strategic proprietor, he thinks some of these lands, he bought them years and years ago when people did not think they would become something good, and it's shocking that they are very competitive. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, and our teams at office, they really work hard. They attend to clients. sometimes you explain over and over again, but yeah, we're passionate about that and we're relentless about that.
Absolutely. Well, that was Milton Wabulaka, Head of Marketing at Zion Estates, and thank you for joining us this morning. Land investment can be rewarding, but as we've heard, making informed decisions is also key, and start now. That's what he said. Let's take a quick break.
Are you young, driven, and ready to rise? Do you want to grow your skills, earn from your passion, and change your community? This is your time. This is your tribe. This is Nexters. From high school to universities, from TikTok to your town, Nexters is here to build you up, skill you up, and show you off. Join the Nexters Club, win digital challenges, meet your mentor, turn your hustle into impact, turning passion into purpose, house bundles, and career opportunities. This is not just a movement, it's your launch pad. Be good, do good, be a Nexter. Sign up now, scan the code, visit our portal, or catch us at your school or campus.
Are you planning an event? Think of X Events for the best photography and videography of all kinds. We believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, Kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and progea with elegance. X Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. X Events, capturing your precious moments.
For 40 years, technology has redrawn the map of possibility in Uganda. From the first mobile call to digital money to a nation operating at the touch of a screen. This is a story of progress, access, and transformation. A future rising from every connection. Connecting a nation. Uganda's 40-year digital journey. Coming soon. Influence is more than followers, it's impact. At Next Influencer, we connect brands with the right voices through a thorough vetting and discovery process. We onboard influencers with hands-on workshops that build skills, unlock real opportunities, and fuel professional growth. Brands find the perfect match, influencers get dignified jobs, and audiences experience authentic stories. This is where influence becomes value. Next Influencer. Create, discover, connect, influence.
Don't let your mornings be boring. We have somebody on the line. Morning Switch, good morning. Yes.
This thing started as small thing. These people, the ones he's talking about who are corrupt, these are people who didn't return balance of 500 shillings back in that day. Just 500 shillings. They were not returning balance. The mom asked, they lie that they increased the bread price. Budget 5 million dollars. No, they gave us $3 million.
I thank you, Michael. Good morning. Catch the Morning Switch Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. only on 106.1 Next Radio.
Yes, habari Uganda, my name is Palazzo. Ensonga endeserero ya unemployment. Are you looking for connections? Ozagala wano oboyagala connections eweruwe gwanga. Hayes Recruitment is here to support you. Aba Hayes Recruitment beba kafulu boka abaina connections ku mirimu mu Uganda ne bweruwa Uganda. They have opportunities waiting for you. Era mukulwanyisa ebbula ly'emirimu n'okubazaamu amaanyi negasene Hayes Recruitment gamaze okukakasa nti balina emirimu egisobola okumatchinga skill y'omuntu yenna kati gwayagala okwekolerera okyuse ku bulamu bwo otukene ku birooto by'okozesa ku connections zange tukyalireko. Visit Hayes Recruitment today and let's unlock your potential. Buli awulidde ategeezemu nti go Hayes, go better.
2022, Kampala to Bushenyi. 2023, Kampala to Mbale. 2024, Kampala to Fort Poto. 2025, Kampala to Gulu. Welcome to John Walker 2026, and this time it's Kampala to Hoima. We'll be engaging with the roadside communities. We'll be engaging with schools, public administrators, law enforcement officers, Ministry of Works officials, and we are saying, hey, it's possible to create safe roads and save lives.
Better study tips. Choose a unique PIN. Avoid using common and easy to guess numbers like your birthday, phone number, or consecutive numbers. Also, do not use the same PIN for multiple accounts. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Breakfast Meeting with myself, Victoria Sibatani. Now, with rising living costs and busy schedules, families today are looking for more than just a place to shop. We are really looking for convenience as well. We're also looking for affordability and reliability under one roof. This morning, we're looking at how smart shopping can help families manage their budgets better. Joining us this morning is Tusima Lawrence, better known as Larry, who is the business analyst at Masters Supermarket. Larry, good morning and welcome to The Breakfast Meeting.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Good to have you here. Let's talk shopping. One of my favorite topics, if I should say.
Yes, please.
But before we even get there, can we talk about Masters Supermarket? Where are you guys located? Who are you guys? And I'm pretty sure some people know you already.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Master Supermarket, we are located in 3 branches. One is in Tinda, Chimera Road, at Tinda Shopping Center. Mm-hmm. Another is along Namamve Road, close to Coca-Cola. And then we also have Gayaza Road, Kumukaga, how most people know it. Yeah.
So 3 branches in total that have been around. Let's.
Sure.
What makes you so different from other supermarkets? Because you know here in Uganda, supermarkets are literally everywhere.
True.
But you guys are calling yourself the masters at it. What makes Masters Supermarket stand out for Ugandans?
Yeah, we are the master supermarket, just as the name suggests. Mm-hmm. It's because we look at affordability and we look at taking care of our daily customer. So for that case, we provide a very vast range of categories, a very vast range of product, both be it local, be it imported. It's just to cover up the full customer as a whole. Mm-hmm. So typically we are called master because we try to cover all.
So what's the most important? Is it the product range that you have? Is it the pricing? Is it the convenience? What's the most important thing?
To us, the most important thing is the pricing and convenience. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could get other things from anywhere else, but we are the master because we take care of the pricing as our top priority, and then we will also try to reduce processes or procedures that our customers go through to ease up their shopping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, when we start talking about being price conscious, and I think many families, especially around this season, back to school, we just came back from December and so on, we're being very price conscious with everything that we touch or everything that we buy in that case.
Sure.
Many people might think that, when you're getting it cheaper, that means it's a bad product. Or when the pricing is at a certain level, that means it's either a fake product or not such a good product. What would you say to it?
So to us, we fully move with the law. We use NBS. We try to follow certifications. Mm-hmm. So UNBS is our go-to area. All our products, be it local or imported, have to be fully certified by UNBS. Mm. So the price difference comes in transition where we have local product that actually preserve the quality that a customer actually wants. And also the price gap comes in when you move to the imported product. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. When we talk about convenience, because you said it's really about pricing and convenience for you, what does convenience look like at Masters and for the regular Ugandan who's just walking into Masters and you're like, this is convenient? What do we mean by that?
Okay, convenience starts from the time you enter the supermarket, right? It begins from where you're going to find a particular product. A supermarket is a very vast area, and I don't want to enter into somewhere that I cannot find what I need. So the same shopping experience that I'd have, I'd want someone to walk with me, show me exactly where the product is. I'd want to have vast payment methods. I don't want to have maybe one or two. I need to pay by all means. Yeah. Also, I need to have a very fast POS system. So I don't want to make a long queue simply to cash out something very tiny. I want to have it fast, quick. So we invest a lot in our POS systems to make payment easier and also have faster movement.
When you look at the amount of hours that you operate in, how many hours do you operate at Masters?
We have 2 branches that actually do 24 hours because we got requests from night shift workers, people who actually need convenience in the night. So we try to have Namamve branch and Gayaza Road branch offer 24-hour service. And then for Tinda, we operate from 8 to 10, sometimes 11.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
so you do make room for late night workers.
Exactly.
And so on. When you look at where we are right now, I think many families, those that are busy working, those that are trying to really make sure that they have everything they need, sometimes we don't have that much time to go shopping and to walk around the aisles and find what we're looking for. Do you offer any form of delivery? Do you offer any kind of digital shopping for your customers?
Okay, so we have our basic WhatsApp utility. We're fond of having most of our clientele reaching out to us personally via our WhatsApp.
I mean, it is quite convenient. You feel like you're talking to somebody you know.
Perfect.
Yes.
And the thing is, our WhatsApp is immediate. So we get you in touch with our correspondent at the store from wherever you'll be. And then we also have Glovo. We partner with Glovo to skip the hassle. Traffic is everywhere. We need our product quick, smooth, and contactless. So we try to make the process as seamless as possible. So we have Glovo trying to bridge the gap as our partner. And we're also soon rolling out our own delivery platforms. So a short time from now, you'll see us online.
Exciting things ahead,
sure.
I can see. Are there any special, promotions that you have for your customers?
Yeah, actually, when you talk of customers, previously we had our Go Back to School. Yeah.
Yes.
So we had a range of 20 to 50% on selected items. By items, therefore, we have maybe in categories of household, scholastics or stationery. We had dairy, food product. So, for example, like school, talking about myself, going to school, you need something very affordable, very quality. So we went to the stationery. We had running 20 to 50% discount on all those items.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And for loyal customers, of course, because I look at myself and I want my regular supermarket, I want my regular this and this and this, right? Is there any customer loyalty programs that you offer, especially, the more I come around Masters? Is there anything that is a benefit to those regular Master shoppers?
So speaking directly to the regular customers, maybe those who knew about it and maybe now those that are going to know about it from now on, we have a systemized loyalty customer scheme. So what we do is we capture the clientele details. We have them in the system. So anytime you come to our point of sale or anytime you come through our supermarket and you purchase something as low as 10,000, you're clearly rewarded for that.
Them to actually come through to Masters, for somebody who has never shopped at a Masters supermarket?
Okay, my biggest encouragement would be it is really a vast variety. We look and take care of both clientele, both who are more interested in the local product and those who are interested in the imported product. So we are sure that we cover all the needs of that client. And I'm sure we do have the best prices we can offer for that, I'm sure. Yes.
Now, what about for those who have been loyal customers? Do you have any final thought that you'd like to give to them? Those who know you, those who've seen your face, who are seeing your face now on television, what would you say to your loyal customers?
I'll tell them to keep coming. More rewards are in the pipeline. Even those that have been shopping with us, actually using the loyalty program, they can come and claim their reward. So we are open to that, and we keep inviting them. Yeah, sure.
Well, an exciting time, of course. Well, you've heard it right here to Sime Lawrence, who's a business analyst at Master Supermarket. Thank you again for taking your time this morning to share with us.
Welcome.
Smart shopping
Welcome.
is clearly about planning, convenience, and taking advantage of the available options which Master has made available to you. But for myself, Victoria Sabatani, maybe I should be going shopping this morning, and should I follow you?
Sure. We could go together.
We should go together.
From here, we could go
and
together.
get a couple of things. But may the Lord bless you, keep you, make his face shine upon you, and be gracious to you. Goodbye. God bless.
NBS. Always.
Now estimated at over 50 trillion Uganda shillings, and private sector credit growth averaging between 8% and 12% annually in recent years, financial institutions are playing a central role in financing trade, infrastructure, SMEs, agriculture, and household consumption. But while borrowers are eager and banks are lending, not every financial institution can offer the same services. The reason? Capital requirements, regulation, tier classification. And sometimes when a bank grows stronger, it moves from one tier to another. The latest institution to make headlines, Finance Trust Bank.
About the change of license. This basically means that we change the license from tier 1 license of a commercial bank to tier 2, which is also a bank, but basically referred to as a credit institution. That basically meant that as a bank, we have taken some decisions on what we need to do in respect of the capital that the bank has and its resources, and how we want to leverage it to serve our customers even better. The bank is strong. We are one of the oldest banks in the market with over 40 years in this market. We've grown from credit institutions, from microfinance, and to a full service commercial bank. And right now, we are saying no, strategically we want to concentrate on our market, the microfinance, small and medium enterprises, organizations, businesses and individuals, salaried. And so strategically the bank has decided to acquire a tier 2 license, because we think that's something that is important right now.